Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Tonight we're diving into the world of left-handed people, a group that makes up about 1 in 10 of us. From can openers to spiral notebooks, lefties have always had to adapt to a right-handed world. But being a lefty isn't just about inconvenience, there are some surprising perks and fascinating science behind it. So, get ready as we uncover the curious, weird, and wonderful facts about what it means to be a southpaw. There's a lot more to it than just how you hold a pen. Stick around, you won't want to miss this. Let's rewind to a time not so long ago in the grand scheme of human history, when being left-handed was more than just unusual, more than just a simple difference in how someone held a pen. It was suspicious. It raised eyebrows, sparked whispers, and even, in some cases, led to outright accusations. The word sinister literally comes from the Latin for left, a linguistic relic of a time when left-handedness was viewed with distrust and unease, while dexter, meaning right, gives us dexterity, a word synonymous with skill, adroitness, and grace. The very language we use subtly reinforces a bias. For centuries, lefties were seen as not just different but fundamentally flawed, unlucky, unclean, associated with all things impure and undesirable, or even evil. A direct link to the devil himself, in the minds of some. In many cultures, the left hand was reserved for unclean tasks, the tasks deemed too dirty or unpleasant for the favored right hand, and using it for greetings or gifts was taboo, a social faux pas that could bring shame and dishonor. Imagine a world where something as simple as a handshake could be fraught with such peril. During witch hunts, those dark periods of paranoia and superstition, being left-handed could even be used as evidence of witchcraft, a mark of the devil himself. A twisted logic that condemned countless innocent people. This stigma wasn't just ancient history, a relic of a bygone era. Well into the 20th century, in classrooms and homes around the world, left-handed kids were forced to switch hands in school, their natural inclination seen as a defect to be corrected. Teachers tied hands behind backs, a cruel and unusual punishment designed to force conformity, or wrapped knuckles to correct lefties, a painful reminder that they were somehow different, somehow wrong. Many became covert left-handers, forced to live a lie, hiding their true preference, concealing a fundamental part of themselves to avoid ridicule and punishment. This makes it hard to know how many lefties there really were in history, their numbers obscured by fear and oppression. The shift began in the mid-20th century, a slow but steady tide of change, as science showed handedness is a neurological trait, hardwired into our brains, not a choice or flaw, but simply a variation of human experience. The creative, artistic lefty image, the stereotype of the imaginative and innovative southpaw, replaced the old sinister stereotype, ushering in an era of greater acceptance and understanding. Today, being left-handed is mostly seen as a quirky trait, a minor difference that adds a touch of individuality. But it took centuries to get here, centuries of prejudice, misunderstanding, and outright persecution. So next time you meet a lefty, remember, as you shake their hand, they're part of a long line of survivors, individuals who defied societal norms and embraced their true selves, who faced some wild suspicion just for being themselves and who ultimately helped pave the way for a more accepting and inclusive world. So, have you ever stopped to wonder about the prevalence of left-handedness in our world? How many lefties are out there, really? It's a question that touches on genetics, culture, and even history. We often take for granted that the majority of people are right-handed, but what about those who navigate the world with their left hand as their dominant one? Well, the numbers suggest that about 10% of the world's population identifies as left-handed. That's roughly 1 in every 10 people you meet. Think about that for a moment. It means that in a room of 100 people, you're likely to find around 10 individuals who favor their left hand. But that number is fuzzy. It's not as clear-cut as it might seem at first glance. There are several factors that contribute to the uncertainty surrounding this statistic. One of the primary reasons for this ambiguity is that social pressure has always pushed lefties to switch, particularly in earlier generations. This pressure was especially prevalent in places where the stigma against left-handedness remains strong, leading many individuals to suppress their natural inclination. Furthermore, some people might write right-handed out of habit or necessity, but do everything else left-handed, further complicating the process of accurately counting left-handed individuals. All of these factors make it incredibly tricky to count the true number of lefties in the world. Surveys and studies rely on self-reporting, which can be influenced by personal experiences and societal expectations. And let's not forget about ambidexterity. True ambidexterity, the ability to use both hands with equal skill, is a rare trait. However, cross-dominance, using different hands for different tasks, is more common than you'd think. You might throw a ball with your left hand but write with your right, or vice versa. Adding another layer of complexity, the percentage of lefties varies significantly by country and culture. In some regions, the prevalence of left-handedness can be as low as 1% in places where strong cultural stigmas persist. This is often due to historical practices and beliefs that favored right-handedness. This historical pressure means there's a lost generation of lefties, individuals who were actively discouraged or even forced to use their right hands instead. These are the people who were forced to switch hands in their early years, and were therefore never accurately counted in any statistics. Their stories are a testament to the challenges faced by left-handed individuals throughout history. Yet, despite all these variables and challenges in accurate measurement, the 10% figure has remarkably held steady for thousands of years, suggesting a deeper, more fundamental reason for its persistence. This consistency is evident when examining ancient tools and artifacts, which provide clues about the hand preferences of our ancestors. Cave paintings and the design of ancient implements offer glimpses into the prevalence of left-handedness throughout human history. This begs the question, why not 50-50? Why isn't the population split evenly between left-handed and right-handed individuals? Scientists and researchers propose that a predominantly right-handed population actually helps with cooperation and coordination within societies. However, a small group of lefties gives a distinct edge in competition, particularly in sports and other combative situations where their different movements can catch opponents off guard. It's a delicate balance, an evolutionary compromise that's stuck around for millennia, shaping the way we interact and compete. So, lefties are more than just a small, resilient minority. They represent a fascinating aspect of human diversity and adaptation. They are living proof that a little variation is not only interesting but also key to the richness and resilience of the human story, adding unique perspectives and skills to our collective experience. Have you ever wondered why some people favor their left hand? Why are some people left-handed? It's a question that has intrigued scientists and laypeople alike for centuries. Genetics play a role, but it's not simple. It's not a straightforward case of one gene dictating handedness. The genetic component is more nuanced and complex than that. If both your parents are lefties, your odds go up to about 26%, which is significantly higher than the general population, where only about 10% are left-handed. This suggests a hereditary component, but it's not a guarantee. But there's no single lefty gene. It's not like eye color, where a single gene pair largely determines the outcome. Scientists have found several genetic regions linked to left-handedness, suggesting that multiple genes may be involved, each contributing a small piece to the puzzle. Especially those involved in brain development and language. These genes may influence the asymmetry of the brain, which in turn affects handedness. But genes are only part of the story. The environment also plays a crucial role in determining whether someone becomes left-handed. What happens in the womb matters too. The prenatal environment can have a significant impact on a child's development, including their handedness. Hormones, fetal position, the way the baby is positioned in the womb, can all influence brain development and potentially handedness. And even maternal stress can influence handedness. High levels of stress during pregnancy can affect hormone levels, which in turn can impact fetal brain development. Higher testosterone in the womb may slow the left brain's development, potentially giving the right hemisphere a developmental advantage, letting the right side take over, possibly leading to left-handedness. This is because the right hemisphere controls the left side of the body. Some research suggests handedness might be set as early as 8 weeks into gestation, a remarkably early stage of development, even before the brain controls movement. This suggests that the foundations for handedness are laid down very early in development, possibly through genetic and hormonal influences. It's a complex recipe, a multifaceted interplay of various factors. Genes, the blueprints of our bodies, provide a predisposition. Hormones, the chemical messengers, influence brain development, and environment all mixed together, creating a unique cocktail that determines handedness. That's why even identical twins can have different dominant hands, despite sharing nearly identical genetic material. The journey to becoming a lefty is a fascinating puzzle science is still piecing together, and each new discovery brings us closer to understanding this intriguing aspect of human diversity. Here's a twist. Men are more likely to be left-handed than women. About 12% of men are lefties compared to 8% of women. The leading theory? Hormones, especially testosterone, may influence brain development in the womb. More testosterone could slow the left hemisphere, giving the right side a chance to dominate. This might also explain why some conditions like dyslexia are more common in both men and lefties. It's still just a theory, but it shows how many factors shape handedness. So, if you're looking for a lefty, you'll have better odds in a group of guys. It's a quirky fact that adds another layer to the lefty mystery. Humans aren't the only ones with a dominant side. Many animals show pawedness or lateralization. Cats and dogs have paw preferences. Male cats are more likely to be left-pawed, while female cats tend to be right-pawed. You can even test your dog at home with the Kong test to see which paw they use most. Kangaroos are mostly left-handed, using their left paw for fine tasks. Even bees show side preferences when navigating mazes. This brain lateralization is common across species and helps animals multitask, like foraging with one side while watching for danger with the other. It's an evolutionary advantage, not just a human quirk. So lefties are part of a much bigger, slightly lopsided family tree. Here's where being a lefty really pays off. Sports. In one-on-one sports like boxing, tennis, and fencing, lefties have a built-in advantage. Most athletes train against right-handers, so facing a lefty throws off their reflexes and strategies. This is called the unfamiliarity hypothesis. Lefties are used to righties, but not vice versa. In baseball, left-handed batters are closer to first base and see pitches differently. Lefty pitchers are especially tough for righties to hit. Legends like Sandy Koufax, Manny Pacquiao, and Rafael Nadal have used their left-handedness to dominate. Some scientists think lefties might even have faster reaction times or better spatial awareness. So while lefties struggle with can openers, they're the wild cards of the sports world. What's a disadvantage in daily life can be a superpower on the field. That's our deep dive into the world of lefties, from ancient suspicion to secret sports advantages. The world may be built for righties, but lefties have a unique story and some cool perks. Are you a lefty, or do you know one? Share your experiences in the comments. What's the most annoying right-handed thing you deal with? Got any fun lefty facts? Thanks for hanging out and learning with me today. If you enjoyed this, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more surprising science. We're always exploring the hidden stories behind everyday life. See you in the next one.